Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel and my second video. Just before I get into everything in front of me here, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you to everyone for your immense support and kindness on my first video. It's a sketchbook tour and I didn't expect it to do as well as it's doing. I didn't expect the kindness from everyone. You guys have been nothing but positive and I just wanted to say thank you so much. It's been incredible to see what's happen. I never thought it would ever happen to anyone like me, but I just want to take the time to really thank you guys because a lot's happened. You know, I went from 16 subscribers to 300, which I never thought would ever happen. And before this kind of reboot where I started re-uploading new videos and deleting the old ones, I used to average about 5 to 10 views per video, and now this one is sitting at 8,000 plus. I'm sure it's gone up now. I'm not sure, I have to check again, but you guys have made this feel like a viable platform to be on. You've given me a foundation that I didn't have before, and I just really appreciate it. And also even with the comments, you know, I haven't gotten a single bad comment. Everyone's been extremely positive and extremely kind. Even the people who were critiquing the video itself, they were very respectful, and they spoke to me like they were speaking to a human being, which I appreciate more than anything. You can't really ask for that. Yeah, I just wanted to express my gratitude for that, because it's very easy to lose steam and hope on social media platforms, especially something like YouTube, where it's just inundated with, you know, people trying to put their best foot forward. And people don't talk about this a lot. They always talk about the hard work that you have to put in and how much time it takes, but they never talk about the luck. And I think I've just been very fortunate for everything to happen the way it's happened. And I know it's not massive for some people. Like, they think, oh, it's just a few thousand views, that's normal. And for me, it's not. So I just want to say thank you guys. But anyway, today it's gonna be a bit of a weird sketchbook tour, because it's not exactly a sketchbook. It's a lot of loose leaf drawings. This is from a time when I didn't have a sketchbook, so a lot of the stuff I did was on loose leaf sheets like these. This is just folder paper, the kind of stuff you'd find documents in back in the day. It's really sturdy, really cool, like hot press paper. It's not very thick, so it's good for dry media, not great for any water-based media or anything like that. But it served its purpose. You know, when I needed it, I needed something to draw on, I had this. I had pencils and stuff, but I didn't have a sketchbook, but this served as my sketchbook. So we'll be going through drawings from this era, which was around the 2020 to 2021, I think. And then the stuff in the display books here is very recent stuff, but it's experimentations with watercolor and other media that I just don't use very often. I'll go through these last, and yeah, we'll see what I've been up to recently. But before that, we're going to go through some of the older stuff. With that being said, I have had to take quite a substantial amount of things out, just because of time. I didn't want the video to be extremely long, you know. So if you guys want me to go through these, you know, including this one, if you want me to go through these, just let me know in the comments below, and just let me know, and we'll do that. But for now, we're going to get started with the ones below here. Before I even show you these, I do have to say, fair warning, I draw nude figures, so if that makes you uncomfortable, yeah, this is the warning. I guess this is the time to click off. But if you're okay with that, I do draw them for practice, and also some of my concepts involve a lot of that. So yeah, that's the warning, guys. So last chance. All right, let's get started. So this was the first time I drew a figure. I used to draw a lot of portraits back in the day. I was really interested in realism or hyperrealism and just drawing people's likeness and stuff. Now I genuinely don't care about that. It was good at the time. It helped me improve in certain areas that I wanted to. But figure drawing has become, I'd say, a cornerstone of the kind of stuff that I do now. I really love drawing figures and just developing concepts with figures more than portraits. I do enjoy a portrait every now and then, but it has to look weird. I guess there has to be something interesting about it. But yeah, it's not great, but for the first time drawing a figure, yeah, I was proud of this. I was quite happy with this at the time. This is a portrait of my friend. Oh, this is interesting. It's on handmade paper from a local gallery. It's very fragile, but it's great for things like charcoal, which I don't use, unfortunately. So I drew this on, I'd say, like normal store-bought paper, and I stuck it on there just because I was so afraid to kind of damage it. I mean, it literally just comes right off. Very fragile. Cool, but very fragile. This is fan art from Ghost in the Shell. This is probably one of my favorite drawings ever. It's not technically good, but I just really like the concept. It's about predators in the dark. Yeah, this was more figure practice. I was getting more comfortable just drawing figures, trying to figure out what I like about them, what it is that drew me to them, because I really got very interested in them, and I didn't look back since. Yeah. Yeah, this was yeah, these drawings are going to be interesting to look at. So this was from a time when I was really down. I was depressed, going through, I would say, the worst emotional time of my life. And I hadn't drawn for a couple of weeks, and every time I miss a day not drawing, it's not like guilt. It's just, for me, drawing is therapy. So when I don't do it, I suffer the consequences quite, it's quite evident that I haven't been drawing. So this was after about maybe 2-3 weeks of not drawing, and I felt like crap. But I just decided, let me sit down, let me just get something on paper. If anything, draw what I felt. And this came out. What I liked was the message that I wrote. I was like, on this day, I staved off suicide and stared death in the face. For one night, I won. It was a complete shift for me. My mood shifted. I felt better. Everything just started to click a little bit more, and I kept winning. So I kept drawing from then on, and then things just got a little better. Started dealing with my problems here and there and whatever. This was a fun mixed media. It's pen and graphite. It's just an ordinary big pen, ballpoint pen. Africa. So this is something that I've noticed. This work that I used to do on this paper is very bold and very value-wise. I like it. It's good for me anyway. It's got enough value scale. It's got good darks and good bright, areas. So you've got a good value scale, but what it lacks is depth. And that's something that I've been trying to work on. Actually, I stopped using blending stumps and just blending techniques in general almost completely, because I relied on them too much, and because of that, I'd throw down the darkest value too early without building depth, which means my work, it looks great on camera, or like on a photograph, it looks good. But when I look at it up close, right now in front of me, I can see that it's just lacking some areas, and some areas are just completely, like it's the paper. So there's no depth to it. There's no sense of just solidity. But now the way I draw, I don't smudge at all. So I try and build up the depth just by adding graphite to the paper and adding more layers. What that's done though, is slowed me down, which isn't a problem. But because of that, my work now looks a lot less bold. But up close in real life, it looks better, but on camera it doesn't. So it's a weird trade-off. So now I'm trying to balance the two. I'm trying to learn how to build up depth while also using blending techniques and being bold enough to just push the value scale as far as it needs to. Yeah, I had some fun concepts back then. I really need to get that boldness back. This one's a bit more recent. I think it's from last year. Don't know how it ended up in that pile, but anyway, there we go. So this is what I meant when I said portraits have to be weird for me to draw them now. Can't just be I'm drawing someone's likeness, which, I mean, there's a place for it, there's a market for it, people love it. But for me, it got very boring over time. It just got to a point where I enjoy the process of it, but at the end of it, I'm just like, I don't feel as fulfilled. A lot of these drawings it was just exactly how I felt. So that's all I would do. I'd sit down, just like, how do I feel today? Or how did I feel yesterday? It kind of became like a diary. And each time I just felt terrible or miserable, I'd be like, what? Instead of just wallowing in it and feeling, miserable, just draw it. express it, and it made a big difference. I dealt with my emotions very, I wouldn't say healthily, but in a healthier manner than I would have otherwise. Some fun experiments there. This was for the Moss Foundation. They are a really cool foundation that provide clean water sources for a country in Africa called Swaziland. What they do is they ask artists to do some skate deck art, and then they auction it off, and 100% of the proceeds go towards building these sustainable water systems. And this was one of the ideas I had. I will show you the final one. I'll insert it somewhere, that I ended up going with, because this was the first design that I did, but I didn't go with this one eventually. I ended up doing something slightly different. Oh man, I haven't seen these in so long. Oh, this is fun looking back. This was my rendition of Icarus after he fell. He's lost his wings, and now he's like his head is burning like a matchbox or matchstick, sorry. Oh man, I have so many weird drawings here. Yeah. This was a bit of a series, I think. So all of these went together. I need to revisit some of these ideas. Some cool stuff I haven't seen in a while. So yeah, it's very hard to tell on camera. So as I'm looking at it now, off camera, I really don't like this drawing. It looks cool, but I don't like it just because of it lacks something. It just feels like it's incomplete. But it looks cool. I wish I could do something this bold right now with kind of where I'm at now, the way I've kind of developed over time. And this is my favorite drawing from that era of this paper. This was, I forgot what this was for actually, but it was crazy. I think, it's the id, ego, and super ego. It's a psychological thing where it's different levels of consciousness. This is Andrew Kadima. Oh, off camera there, sorry. This is Andrew Kadima. You're gonna see a lot of him in my work. I think I've drawn him like 3 different times. So yeah, this is my favorite one. Pretty weird, but who isn't? Anyway, moving right along to the more recent stuff. Yeah. I think this, let me see. I think I'm gonna start off with the ink stuff. Yeah, that's a drawing I abandoned. So this is when I started drawing with ink. This was literally the first time I think I bought ink pens and just experimented with them, just trying to see what I can do, what I can't do, how they felt. This was just a copy of Rosetta drawing, or painting, sorry. This was a copy of Carl Kapinski's. This was from Imagination. It was just me trying to figure out what it is that I can do with them. And this was a character that I came up with after I started getting more comfortable with the inks. These are just some studies, Rosetta copy. These are from, I forgot the website, but they've got really cool reference photos that you can use. You can also do some time poses and stuff like that. Yeah, I get very weird concepts sometimes. I'm curious what people would interpret this as. It's probably my weirdest drawing. Probably my... In terms of concept, it's one of my favorites. I just like how weird it is. This is a study of a... That happened. Oh, my lighting's gone. Damn it. Anyway, this is a study of Daniel Gamella's sculpture. This is one of my favorite ink drawings that I've ever done. This was a concept I had for the skate deck. I ended up going with the other idea. But yeah, it's fun trying mecha. These are quite interesting. This, the one below this with the red pen on it, is what I used as my stencil, or my, transfer paper for the skate deck. This one is similar to what I'm doing on this. This is recycled plastic, and what we do is we print out our drawings and just tape them on, and then we scratch the surface of the plastic with a needle point or compass, anything that can scratch the surface deep enough without going through it. And then we pour some ink over it and run it through a press, so we create some cool etchings using recycled plastic. This is the most recent drawing, I think, in here. Yeah, this was just a fun experiment, having fun with color and ink. This is also from last year. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. The next one will be watercolor. So watercolor is something I'm not really familiar with, but it's something I've been trying to learn because I like how it looks. It's light, but at the same time you can push it to be very, very pronounced in what you do. I'm still learning, so, you know, be gentle. This was the first ever watercolor painting I ever did after watching so many videos, a lot from Kellogg's Loops. He's got incredible instructional videos, just defining techniques and showing you examples of how they look and all that. So I just threw all that knowledge in there, whatever I could grasp in his videos, and just threw it into this one. And I think it turned out pretty cool, especially for the first time. You would think after this everything would go well, and no, it didn't. This is terrible. This is Andrew Kadima again. This is watercolor and color pencils. Yeah, so these were fun. This one didn't work out too well. It was my second one with big cats. I can still push it and try it again. Like, I can make it work, but it's just too much work and I'm not in the mood for it. This one was the first one I did, which I really enjoyed. It looks pretty cool, and this is now how I kind of take watercolor. This is how I use it, as more of a base, and then I come over top of it with the yeah, that sounded weird. But then I draw on top of it with ink, just to shore up some lines and give it a little more depth. But I struggle a lot to just use watercolor on its own. It's a very, very weird medium, and if you're not used to it, it's very annoying. So the ink makes it feel more viable, more comfortable for me to use. No burb. This I think is my most, no, not my most recent, but it's very recent. Oops. Yeah, this one's quite recent. This is my favorite one so far. It's ink, watercolor, and color pencil. Yeah, I think that's been the most fun for me. This one's pen, big pen, and acrylic ink. So this red that you're seeing here is all acrylic ink. Yeah, this is watercolor. Then at the end of this we have drawings. It's a mix. So this is from last year. A little character. And then some of these are really old. It's, yeah, as you can see with the paper, it's from that time. So, but these are small enough to fit in here, so I kind of just used this file to keep them. And also these I think are my favorite ones from there. There's another drawing underneath here. I really like this drawing. This is 8. This is fan art from the Queen's Gambit. This is one of my favorite drawings from that time. It was a big stepping stone moment for me. Andrew Kadima again. Yeah, he's a weird one, but he's also really cool. Incredible artist, even nicer person. So yeah, I think that is it for today. If you're still here and watching, honestly, thank you so much for taking the time. This was just a little quick run through of some drawings from before then. I don't know how people respond to this one because it's quite different from the sketchbook stuff, because these are quite finished. But then the way I used to draw these, they start off as sketches, but just to save on paper, I would finish the sketches. I would draw a sketch, like a time sketch, and then once that's done, lighten it up and just finish it, because that way I, it's two birds, one stone. I get to sketch and practice, but also get to create some cool stuff that I can share and put out there. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. I think the next video I'll put up is going to be like a demo, but if you guys have ideas, just let me know. Tell me in the comments and I will see what I can do. I will try and be more consistent on here. I'm trying to aim for one video per week, but as I've said before, I'm still finding my feet, trying to figure this out and seeing what works and what doesn't, what I can do, what I can't do, because I'm not a pro at this, and I'm still finding my way. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.